So now we're going to be moving into the build section. This is kind of a confusing area, and sequence is everything. This helps keep you on track, and this helps make sure you're not missing anything. So we will include a checklist to help you get through this sequence. Try your best to stick to our little method, and you will be successful. Make sure that you are getting everything done before you start burying things within the walls.
So one of the first things we'll talk about in the checklist is cutting holes. Pro tip on this, measure 8 times and then measure another 8 times. Don't worry, we'll show you how to do it.
Next thing we're gonna be doing is your rough wire. And this is where that planing comes into play. You know where everything is gonna be laying, where all your plugs are gonna be already, so it's easy to just run your wires. Protect sharp edges, and if you think you're using too many zip ties, you're using just enough zip ties.
The next part we're gonna talk about is rough plumbing. This is probably one of the most important parts to not skimp on materials, get the good stuff. The last thing you want is any leaking water inside your van.
So solar rough wiring, we like to use an external port so you can plug your solar right in to that port. So run your wires with your solar and run it along with the rest of your wiring.
So next up, you're gonna wanna think about mounting solutions. This is where you're gonna mount your galley, how are you gonna mount your bed, how are you gonna mount upper cabinets, things like that, and we'll delve into the nitty-gritty details of that.
This is definitely something that is very important to think about because these are things that you are going to be mounting that hold lots of weight. Sheet metal is very thin, so we are going to help you figure out exactly how to make very, very strong mounts within this very thin sheet metal. Next is going to be insulation. This is the part that everyone gets excited about. Do yourself a favor and do not insulate until the above stuff has been completed. This is why this sequence is so important.
So next, we're going to talk about different flooring and ceiling options. These are going to be really important pieces in your build, obviously. The floor is going to see the most use out of anything. So we'll talk about what makes good options for either of these.
Next up, we're going to be discussing walls. There's many ways to do walls. We'll delve into a few different options there. What kind of woods, what do you want your final finish to be, and so on and so forth.
Water systems, we're going to talk about recommended tanks to use, recommended piping materials, sinks, faucets. This is a pretty intense period, but we'll talk you through it.
All right, next in the syllabus is electrical systems. Now this is just the craziest part for anyone to wrap their heads around. Don't worry, we're gonna walk you through how to gauge your wires and how to select the proper system to power everything in your van. This is like the heart of your build, and this is the most exciting part, but don't worry, we'll walk you through every bit of it. So cabinetry is where we're gonna let your inner woodworker fly. Plenty of ways to do cabinets. We're gonna show you how we do our cabinets and set you up for success on how to bolt these things to your wall, how to make something that stores all of your gear, and what kind of materials to use.
Bed. So we're gonna talk about how to mount your bed, where to put your bed. I know we've mentioned some of these things before, but we'll really delve into it. This might be the most important part of the entire build because everybody wants good sleep.
Next section is going to be about trim. You see the light at the end of the tunnel, but this is a long process, so take your time. This is what makes everything look beautiful.
This is what makes putting a screw in the wrong place look like you meant to put it in the right place.
A craftsman isn't doing everything perfect the first time. It is how well you hide your mistakes. And this is what trim is all about.
Just as a reminder, in the resources for this section, we're gonna have this checklist. And really make sure you focus on the sequence because we've done it for a reason. And again, this might not be completely extensive for everything you're trying to do in your van, but we find it a good way through years of experience of how to do it this way.
What we're really trying to do here is just set you guys up for success. We are manufacturers at this point. We teach plenty of people within our shop to do this process over and over and over, and it works. And when you move away from the process and try to do it your own way, you will run into hiccups. So, like Max said, this isn't set in stone, but just follow the sequence and you will have a beautiful build.